A while before my trip to Amsterdam last summer, I remember writing a letter to my friend Elise. In the letter, I tried to explain why I was spending a weekend in Amsterdam despite my failing health. I told her I'd been moved by that song from La La Land, the audition. I wasn't moved by the theme of the song, the hopes and values of struggling artists. I was moved by the literal story of her aunt who jumped into a river and spent the month sneezing but said she would do it again. I explained that I am a little bit like the ant in a way, and though I'm fully aware that I'll spend the month sneezing, I must nevertheless jump into the proverbial Seine again and again until one day I do and there is no consequences. You see, at this point in my life, I was convinced that I could beat chronic illness by sheer force of character. If I could retain my lust for life, my inspiration, my dreamerness, illness would just see that I was too formidable an opponent and give up. Which is a lovely idea, but not one with much logic or research to back it up. I no longer practice this strategy, and my feeling is that doing the same thing again and again, expecting different results, is a pretty weak recovery strategy, though I promise I will not lose my lust for life in my more logical approach. But last year, I crawled out of bed, took several pills and a few cups of coffee, and I went to Amsterdam. It was one last folly before a year of focus and precise science. I do not regret it. In some ways, I think Amsterdam, a beautiful sinking city, is a perfect metaphor for my time there and for the way I used to approach my health. Moments of joy on unstable ground, no firm foundations. Amsterdam has managed to be a liberal haven in a country, in a continent with a rising far right. It's a beautiful idea, but it's sinking. Under rising sea levels, under rising right-wing ideology, under boatloads of tourists turning city streets into long aisles of weed shops and Nutella stands. It occurs to me that I am such a tourist. This weekend I am destroying my body. This weekend I am destroying Amsterdam. It is brave to live in a city that is disappearing, I tell myself. And my feet start to crumble, but I march steadily on. You can't be in bed for months and expect to suddenly ride a bike with no consequences, says the world. Oh, but I can try, says Amsterdam. The last 20 minutes, I got on a bike, performed a small medical miracle, rode a bike. How did I fare in comparison to everyone else you've ever brought here?
You're like literally being the best person. I was so relaxed. It was great.
I literally cannot stand. Anyway, what you're hearing now is Dutch.
Ik krijg hem er niet meer op. Ja, die nieuwe. Die met die versnellingen. Dus ik krijg hem er niet meer op.
The chain did a thing?
Is zeg maar, je hebt dus die versnelling, dus je hebt het goed opleggen.
And now it's not working.
En
those English boys fixed the bike. And though my return to Ireland involved a month of recovery, though my health strategy has changed monumentally, and though I wouldn't dream of such a careless, exhausting trip now, I do not one bit regret my travels. Because I, in my room in Dublin, can do my stretches and drink my tea and remember what it was to fly through a warm city in the evening in a sequin jacket on a bicycle. And I know that my mission is to build a foundation so that I can do that again, but safely, without sickness, without drowning. To me, Amsterdam is a sort of vague promise. You can do this, she says. Yes, we have work ahead of us. How to make it sustainable. How to build firm ground and reliable foundation. How to stop sea levels rising. What to do with all the damn tourists, and how to sort out some of the kinks and hypocrisies in the ideals. But we go on, bolstered in our work by the image of the first city to legalise same-sex marriage, of feminist libraries and the idyllic urban family life, of the feeling of flying through a warm summer evening in a sequined jacket. We felt like this once. And no, it wasn't stable, but we did feel like this once, and maybe that means someday we can feel like this again. Good morning. We're making smoothie bowls.
This one is the vegan one. Pronounce it first before you're allowed to eat it.
Chocoladeloken.
Oh, that's right. Chocoladevlokken.
Look at this view though.
Actually, Holland is like the #1 priority of the Vatican, of like the list of countries that really need to be safe. So.
That is like so relatable.